Okay, now for my chicken, or fried chicken, in a crispy batter, but hopefully it's almost like a take on what we takeaways are indeed called like a Miami sauce, so it's like a orange and spice, I suppose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just chicken thigh because it stays moister. Okay, now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you how to do a dairy-free version. Okay, because again, and I reiterate, my son has a dairy allergy, so I'm going to make sure that his is left to marinate in a slightly different, I suppose, brining mix, if you want to say that. So I'm going to get a small bowl. I'll remember actually, a small bowl for him. And this will be his. This is deboned, so it's actually just less hassle really. 1, 2, a bit small that size, I'm going to go that. And to be fair, doing it lengthways is supposed to be more tender, so let's go that way. Let's do make my tenders a little nicer and a bit longer. There you go, nice and easy. Don't matter if you've got a few straggly bits. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to soak this for at least, I reckon, 2 hours. It's nice. All you need. Now I have run out of MSG. Okay, I would usually use MSG when I'm marinating chicken. Today we haven't. So for my sons, it's a little bit different. Okay, he's not allowed anything with milk protein in it. Okay, so you can have chicken. That's it. 1 egg. Oops, I've made a mess of that. Okay, a bit of salt, and now we're gonna. Remembering that when it comes to flouring, I'm going to flour his first. Okay, so that's there. Nice and easy. Done. Okay, so that's the dairy-free version. Okay, and here is my version. Doing some like buttermilk fried chicken. So done. Bit of salt. And then I'm just going to get my hands dirty. Why not? And there we go, that will rest for 2 hours. Back to bread. Right, and now on to my only tiny spiced, and I mean it's tiny spiced, sweet, well, my take on a sweet Miami sauce. That's what I'm calling it. It's basically orange, sweet chilli sauce, garlic, butter, done. So what we're going to do, one of my 2 pans, well this one is ours at the back, and I'm going to set that to low, okay, and I'm going to melt about 25 grams of butter, so not an awful lot, okay, but in this pan, just going to try it, and we're going to heat up just a little bit of olive oil. There we go, and that's for the son and his dairy allergy. Whilst that's doing that, I'm going to get hold of my, I did get a garlic bulb yesterday. Where's my garlic bulb from yesterday? So they're melting away nicely, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grate, I say grate, I'm going to use a microplane to finely grate some chunks of garlic into both of these. So 2 to 3 cloves is fine. Get your microplane. Can I find my microplane? Probably not. Oh yes, there we are. Got it. And what I'll do, because that oil's cooking a lot fatter, a lot quicker, I'm going to add that one done. And I'm not overcooking this because I just want to soften the garlic. I'm not burning it, I'm not cooking it, I don't want it crisp. I want it literally softened because then we're going to blend it afterwards to form a beautiful, sweet, sticky, hopefully, tasty, with a little bit of a kick sauce. I throw the chunks in, I don't matter. There we go. Now I've got to be really careful here, not mix my spatulas. Sometimes I do that because I'm naughty, and unfortunately, not all the time. Depends what his tolerance is like on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes his allergy is that severe that it goes straight through him. Other times he can have a tiny amount, but that's your lot. So I'm going to use that one for that. And that one's, see me in the back. So whatever I do to this one at the back will be the one that same that I do to the front now. So we're just going to let that garlic warm through. Then we're going to add our orange juice and our sweet chilli and cook it through. Right, that's cooked along nicely. So what we're going to do now, that's nice, that's softening nicely, and then we're going to go for about 200 mils, maybe a bit more, of orange juice. That's fresh orange juice, not from concentrate. Little squeeze in my son's, and about a table and a half of sweet chilli, bit of salt, okay. We can afford to turn these up now because they have got liquid, so that danger of burning the garlic is over. And then about 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar, and just do a little bit of him. Well, actually not light brown, it's like I've used light muscovado. Okay, adds a little bit more of a treacly taste, but it is still nice. Okay, it does the job. And then we're going to turn that. There we go. Job done. We'll come back after this has simmered for about 5 minutes. And now for a very simple mac and cheese with crispy bacon bits. As with any good macaroni and cheese, first thing we need to do is boil some pasta, and the way we're going to do that is by having a huge, and I mean far more than you need to let that pasta swim around. We're going to have a huge pot of water that is heavily salted. I said salted then, heavily salted. And there we go, we're going to wait for that to come to a boil. When it's a boil, we're going to add our dry pasta. Okay, so ignoring the blur, there's our beautiful vegan friendly version or dairy allergy free version, and our normal version of my take on a Miami sauce. And what we're going to do there, that's been simmered away for a good kind of 5, almost 10 minutes maybe. Now you can whiz this in a blender. I actually thought it was a useful buy, okay, and I went and bought myself a mini hand blender, and to be fair, it's done me a world of good, okay. It saves transferring to a pot or a blender, okay. It's really easy to use, and they are quite invaluable for a quick blend when you need one. So my sauces can now actually come off, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do my dairy free version first, whilst making sure I don't get the wire everywhere. Now it does get quite messy. That's the sauce we're going to go. And then I'm just going to simmer it down a little bit more. I want it to really thicken up if I can. So I'm just going to let that simmer down, cook it down a bit till it thickens ever so slightly. Okay, and now it's obviously on to our full version. Same deal, whack it in. And that's nicely blended together, so we're just gonna let that cook out a bit now and thicken up. And that's Miami sauce done, and that'll go over our delicious crispy chicken. Back soon, peace. Okay, so that is done, believe it or not. What we're looking for, if I just get, you can still see it bubbling in that almost caramelised that sugar, but you can see, if you can see, I don't know if you can see that with the silly focus on the camera. Let's try and get it to focus in on the and if I do that, you can see that parting, and that's when you know. You could argue a bit thicker, but that'll do. Okay, so we're going to let that cool, and then we're going to transfer it to our plastic bottle. 1 to 1. I do it by sight, I really do. 1 to 1 corn flour, potato starch with normal flour. Rice flour sometimes works well as well. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. All we're going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to dredge for lads. Oh no, we're missing something actually. We want a good baking powder. We're going to put baking powder in, seasoning, give it a good whirl. So I'm going to go for about 2 teaspoons maybe, give or take. That baking powder, okay, adds that crispiness to the chicken. Now I would usually double dredge, I don't think I can do that today. We'll go. Let's do that quick. Mix through. And obviously we're going to do the lads first because he has dairy allergy, so we don't really want any dairy with him. So I'm literally just going to get all the tenders. 1, plop, 2, and the best way to do this is always remember dry. 1 hand dry, 1 hand wet. So he's got lovely 4 pieces of chicken tenders, and we're going to well and truly, I think somebody, I remember watching a video that said they do it 60 times and they just literally flip it over 60 times at least. Now I'm not that, I mean I can be quite obsessive, but I'm just going to give it a good firm coating. And then the trick to it is, because it's better on the flour, ignore the noise please, I'm at it again. There's that one, and I want a smaller one. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is, after we've dredged it, we're going to lay it for about 10 minutes or so. And then we're going to fry it twice. Nice and simple, okay? Making sure we're going to squeeze, make sure that flour coats every ounce of that chicken. Shake it off when you're happy with it, and just leave it for 10 minutes to allow that flour to stick and coat that chicken nicely. Okay, there's a bit more there. He's going to be well and truly happy with that. Okay, and then we do the same again. Okay, I'm going to be quite bold with this one. I'm just going to literally throw that chicken in there. If I can. Yeah, I can. I know there's flour in there, at least I hope there's plenty of flour. If not, I might add a little bit more thingy to it, and it is now about just getting. This is the horrible part. I don't like doing this. It really doesn't suit me, and I'll be back when that's coated nicely. Okay, so we've got some oil. I'm just gonna literally test it, but I am gonna do my son's first. Again, getting rid of my dairy allergy needs first. Yeah, there we go. So I like to use Alexa. Alexa, set alarm 5 minutes. Try again. Alexa, set alarm 5 minutes.
Set alarm 5 minutes. 5 minutes alarm set for 4:52 p.m.
So we're just going to watch that. Turn it every so often, make sure that it's not sticking to the bottom. Potentially not giving it enough space. Just going to make sure it's not done. Okay, and make sure to do that. Now I'll come back in 5 minutes. Right, okay, and this is after 5 minutes. That's nice and cooked. So what we're going to do, just going to remove that. It will go in for a second fry. Okay, you can use an air fryer, but I'm going for the proper fried chicken way, or at least I say it's proper fried way. It's not nice, and most people are using an air fryer these days. But yeah, I'm just going to let this drain over a bowl. Okay, make sure that oil's got rid of, and then fry it later on as well. So there we go. I'm just going to add another bit more oil, because that wasn't enough. There we go. That's that. Okay. And now in goes our buttermilk version. Okay. And again, so we'll fry this 5 minutes, till it's brown, take it off, drain it, put it on a rack to cool, and then fry it again at a higher heat after. I probably will drain the oil of all the residue before I do the second fry. So that's my oil. I've taken most of the bits out of it. There's still a bit of sediment in it, but it's good enough for what I'm doing it for. Just gonna put it in, literally flash fry for a minute. That was a bit too cool. I'll go to time again. Yeah, it's getting there. That was a bit too cold. Nonetheless, things were still the same. Being up to about 180, I thought I had it. Obviously not. These things happen. And we're just, in fact, I'm probably going to turn that out and let it get hotter. That'll be my test piece, actually. Let that be my test piece. That'll do. So obviously when that's bubbling away nicely, I know that my oil's hot enough. On. And there you go. I also have to go 2 more minutes at high heat, drain them, and I'm going to drizzle some of our Miami sauce on. There you go. And then I'm going to rinse and repeat that for all the other pieces of chicken. Careful not to splash because that does hurt. Okay, and now our chicken is cooked. We're going to put in the chicken crispy, very crispy chicken. Okay, ready for those that are having it. And what we're going to do, we're going to get our lovely Miami sauce. I think I've got a bit of stuff caught in that, I think I have. Let me just get not worked out as I wanted, but that's fine. Okay, now I've adjusted that. Try again. I think there's still some lumps of garlic in. There we go. And what we're going to do, very nice and easy, all we're going to do. Oh! It'd be quite generous, it's quite thick. I'm having to use my hands because it's not really done. There we go, okay. I'll be honest though, the taste will be good. So, that's that done. We're going to put them in our bowl. Ooh, make a mess of it, that's fine. And there you go, we have some delicious, crispy, Miami sauce inspired, I don't know, it's a sweet spicy orange sauce, delicious. But there you go, my crispy chicken recipe with a take on a sweet Miami sauce. As usual, don't forget, wherever or whenever you are viewing this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe. Click the links to the right to see some more of my beautiful, delicious recipes. Give that notification bell a ring to be informed of future content. And last but not least, comment below what's on your plates.